Hello Informed Crows, my name is John, and today I'm giving you my 2025 review of the Valley of Fear located in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. I was out for their media night and I had a blast. I'll tell you all about it in this video, and here is the ticket, so let's talk about this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
So like I was showing you in the intro, here is the ticket. So it has every one of the attractions on there, and they'll rip that off of your ticket. So they have one for each attraction. So one would be for the Miles Manor, one for the original Haunted Hayride, and one for Shipwreck Cove. And they have one of the evil pirates right here on the ticket. So very cool. Really good quality pictures they get for their photo shoots. And I actually ended up picking up a piece of merch. I ended up picking up one of the custom koozies they had. So very fun. Has the Valley of Fear on there with the moon, that logo. You can get different versions of it. You could get one with the moon or one without. And I wanted one with the moon. So I like that. That's nice. I think it was around $5. It was reasonable. And this was the VIP Fast Fear Pass that was given as a part of the media. And they tell you all about the rules on the back as well. And then they always put the number for the date you're going to be using it for. And we wore this all night through the attractions. And that made the people that run the lines know we were going to go through as the VIP holders. So my night started in the lodge. We all met up there, all of us media. And we were all talking in there, getting to know each other, different people I didn't know. Shout out to the Philly captain. He was very nice. Definitely really awesome meeting him, talking to him. He's very funny, and he knows all about the different sports and the things that are happening in Philadelphia. So definitely follow him on Instagram and his social media platforms. And I got to see my friends, of course, from Howling Haunts 365, Tim's and Sandy. Got to see my friend Dan, who's one of the managers there. He's one of the managers and part of the build crew for Miles Manor. And they did a lot this year. I'll tell you all about that in this video. And yeah, lots of fun. We met up there, and I had a Shirley Temple, which is obviously a non-alcoholic drink. I also had water, and they had pizza there for us. And I tried a piece of pizza that was like a hot honey, where it had these small pepperoni on it and then the hot honey glaze on it. It was actually very good. Multiple people in the media tried it there, and we all really liked it. Also, shout out to Sapphire. She was there. I'll have her YouTube channel linked below, Sapphire Amber. She is very good. She's very funny. It's hard to be naturally funny, and she is. It's just the way she delivers her different videos and the way she edits them. They're always really fun and well done. I'm subscribed to her, so definitely check her out. She's a kind soul, and her whole family, all very talented, nice people. We got to talk to Beetlejuice and get pictures with him. He's always awesome. So started out the night on a good foot. Very fun, getting to know everybody. And then we went and we started doing a behind-the-scenes tour of the Hayride. We actually did a walking tour right past the makeup trailers. We got to see those. Go in there and look at them doing some makeup on some of the actors. And then we got to walk the Hayride Trail, which I'd never done at Valley of Fear. I've been there as a customer before and never did that before, so that was really neat. And not only did we get to walk it, they had the whole scenes play out with the scare actors as if we were going through on the wagon, but we were walking through it all, so it was even more scarier and intense because they're coming right at you. There's no distance from you, from them, from the wagon. They actually come right at you like a traditional walkthrough. So that was really neat, and being able to see all those detailed sets up close. So that was really enjoyable. I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you very much to Christian and Mike for letting that happen. That was really awesome. And I got to go through all those different scenes, and I'll tell you all about it on the Hayride. But I have a whole video dedicated to that. I have some teaser clips of the Hayride from that experience of going through behind the scenes like that before the general public went through. Had that linked in the corner, so you can check that out. And then we ended up going on a hayride cart, and then we were, I think, like the third or fourth cart going through the attraction for real. And then we went through the hayride, and the hayride started with a new intro. Is a new monster there that you will encounter, so definitely be on the lookout. If you've been there before, it is a new monster this year from last year. It's a brand new one, and he has glowing eyes. It's really neat. You'll see some clips on social media from the other media people that were there. Like Halloween Haunts 365, he has a clip of it on his YouTube channel, and it's really neat. It's a larger-than-life animatronic talking to you, and it's really imposing and creepy, and it really sets the tone. It looks like you're at this dilapidated castle that's broken apart, and it's really neat. And that takes you right into the beginning of the hayride. And you go into their homage to Camp Crystal Lake with Jason Voorhees, and you see mobile versions of Jason Voorhees. You see the Jason Takes Manhattan version of him. You see the one from part 3 and part 4, and you see a whole bunch of different versions of Jason's, and he's coming after you, and he's coming after these different counselors, and the one counselor says everything's fine, and then he comes after and takes her and throws her in the shed, and it's insane. You get to see the sleeping bag kill with the Jason Takes Manhattan style of Jason. That was awesome, and really interesting, really well done, very well executed skits there. And what's really interesting, unique about Valley of Fear's hayride that stands out, in my opinion, as compared to other hayrides that have similar characters, is they have the victims. And the victims' characters are excellent. They really act like they're getting attacked and have all the awesome screams and all the different skits they play out with the different kills. And it's so well choreographed. Job well done to every single one of them. Then after that, you get to go past the scene with Michael Myers, where it looks like the burning house, the projections, like the beginning of Halloween Kills with the firefighters. The firefighters are telling you shouldn't be here because the house is on fire and they're trying to evacuate the house. And then Michael Myers comes after them with the fire axe and acts like he's killing them. And it's insane. He comes after the wagon, and it's really intense. And right after that, you go to the diner that's in Halloween 4, and Michael is killing more people. And so Michael on one side and another side, and there's like an homage to Rob Zombie's Halloween. He's insane, like attacking this one girl and throwing her on this barrel, and he slits her throat. It was absolutely insane. So really well done portrayals of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Totally on point. Really enjoyed that. They have steampunk style areas like post-apocalyptic areas. They have zombies. You go past a whole beautiful graveyard with all these different lights in it. You get to see the Tar Man. And easily one of my favorite scenes on the hayride is the Willy Wonka inspired scene, where it's the demented owner of a candy factory, and there's video effects and him miming the different words and then talking over it. They also have Veruca there from the movie, and she's insane, and it looks like she has like pustules on her face, and she's talking about wanting the goose, the golden goose, and then the different characters come after you, and you actually end up seeing the Oompa Loompas, but these are definitely the scariest version of the Oompa Loompas you've ever seen. They were telling some of my friends they wanted to pluck their eyes out and use them as candy, so like all kinds of crazy stuff. It's an excellent scene. There's like foam effects and bubbles, and it's incredible. You have to see it for yourself at Valley of Fear. I loved it. So job well done right there. All of them were excellent. I really enjoyed that. Easily one of my favorite scenes on the hayride. I have to say my favorite was the clown scene at the very end, Victor Grin's Circus. Massive shout out to Victor Grin and everyone in there. Loco and Caution and all the creepy marionette dolls. They were insane. And so many different creepy clowns in there. Everyone had so much energy, and there was confetti going everywhere with confetti guns and these different balloons popping and everything. It was insane. You just have to go for yourself. I have a tease of that in that video I mentioned earlier that you can see in the corner. Another highlight of the hayride for me was the midway game area, where they had these crazy clowns telling you about the different games, and I said I wanted to participate because I was right next to the actor. He asked me if I wanted to, and then he told me about these different games, and at one point other people on the wagon actually were participating in these games, and it was very interactive and very over the top, and I loved it. Loved it, loved it. So that hayride is excellent. One of the best hayrides I've been on. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Job well done to everyone on that hayride. So much fun. Had a freaking blast. So many different animatronics going off. So many different actors. Unique interactions with these actors. They will get on the wagon sometimes. And this wagon is different than other wagons because your feet are actually hanging off. And there's a guide the whole time telling you about the different scenes sometimes and making sure you understand the rules. And at one point, she'll tell you to pull your legs up. And what was awesome was I had Beetlejuice next to me, and he was in character the whole time, being my narrator and my guide. He actually was given a prop worm, a silicone worm, in the circus, and he said, "Ooh, I might eat this." He's like, I don't know if this came out of me or... I was like, it was so good. He was so awesome, totally in character the whole time. So, absolute blast on the hayride. After you barely survive the clowns in the finale of the hayride, you are dropped off in front of Miles Manor, and there's a brand new facade for this year. It is 3 times as big as it was last year. It's absolutely massive, really well done, very well lit, very detailed. It looks like a gothic manor you're going to go into. And when you're going through as a normal customer, you have 2 options. You can go straight ahead to the Miles Manor, and you can go into the VIP line that takes you right to the very front of it, or you go into the general mission where it zigzags a couple times. And you could do that, or you can go over to the left and walk down to the Escape from Shipwreck Cove. And it is very, very immersive, both of these attractions. And the way we went with our tour was to Shipwreck Cove, and we got to see the pirates. And from the very beginning, the scare actors are totally in character, like they're pirates, and there was this whole interactive beginning where it looked like you had to move these different skulls to try to open this door, and it was so interactive. It was like a mini escape room at the beginning of it, and Terry tried to find the right skull, and she found the wrong one. Terry from Halloween Haunts 365. Then the pirate chose Jared, and then he got the right skull, and then there was this talking skull that talked to you, and the doors opened, and you have to go into the pirate ship, and it was so awesome, and all the characters in there were so good, really well done. I really loved their energy. I really enjoyed the voodoo section where you go into the voodoo shack and the voodoo priestess and the voodoo priest are in there and they're going insane, very intense, coming after you, and they're burning incense in there, so it smells good in there, and they're going insane coming after you. Really good skit lines. And it was very, very enjoyable. The bamboo forest is always crazy in there, and the one scare actor overheard me saying something about my hat for some reason. I don't remember why. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to take one of your hats." And he took Jared's hat and he put it on top of his pirate hat. And then he said, "You have to watch out for the little ones." And we didn't understand what that meant. And they had younger scare actors there that came after us with these prop swords. And I liked the whole town area. It looked like you're going past these different shops, and one of the scare actors wanted me to have my fortune told, and I put up my hand and she read my fortune, and then she said I had the black spire, and I didn't actually know until the very end. You'll see it in Sapphire's vlog. They put fake like this little like black ink on my hand. It looked from like the black spire. It went with that. And I didn't know that until the very end of the attraction because I was fully immersed into looking at everything. I didn't look down and look at my hand after she read my fortune. So that was really interesting. The other characters were like, "You have the black spire," and like it was crazy. So, and massive shout to Robbie, I believe, who ran on the ground and scared Jared. He actually startled Jared, Terry, and me at the same time, and it scared Jared really bad. He jumped and he was trying to record stuff, and that was great. Those ground scares always get us. They're always really good. And you have no idea because you're going through this open area in the woods and you're looking all around these different sets, and there's a set up front of you and you're looking ahead like, "Oh, I'm going to go to that one," and all of a sudden he's there on the ground at you. That was awesome. So many different pirate scare actors. I loved going through the one pirate ship where they have the waterfall next to it. It's absolutely beautiful. You look up and you see that beautiful ship and you go through and you hear different sound effects and the different pirates coming at you, and then later on you go into another pirate ship, go into the side of it there, and then they have these different animatronics of pirates that are angry at you coming at you, and there's different food in there that they're trying to store, and they say they haven't been fed for 3 days and the pirates are getting rambunctious. They want to eat you. They're gonna go full on cannibal style and they want to eat you because they're running out of food, and they said they wanted to take Jared. I love the little detail they put in there where they had prop skeletons in the bunks where it looked like some of the pirates had starved. So that was crazy. I really enjoyed that. Another section, there were scare actors coming at us where it looked like they were burning a guy on a spit. So it was insane. Instead of like a pig or something, they had a person there, like a prop, this charred corpse. It was insane. They were coming at us, like really close to us, speaking in tongues, and that was really insane. A scene that was definitely new for this year was this totally fogged out, white out effect in this shack where it was like a bait shack, and he said he was going to go hunting for us, and that was insane. He said he wanted to use our fingers as fishing lures. That was really cool. As bait, that was really neat. And you go past him and it's totally fogged out. There's like lasers and haze and there's fog everywhere. You can't see in front of you, and that was awesome. I really love that. I love a good whiteout effect in haunted attractions. Really enjoyable there. Like I said, the town was great, and so many different scenes in there. The mobile pirate ships. I also really enjoy the new cave they have in there. We have to go through, and it looks like these rock walls and these different animatronics of different skeletons of the cursed souls in there coming after you, and it was really neat. I really enjoy Willie's Shipwreck Cove, or Escape from Shipwreck Cove. I really enjoy that attraction. It is very detailed. It's so immersive. They have like bendy bridges at points and just all the different environments you have to go through, going through the pirate ships and the woods and the bamboo, and there are so many different environments, and the actors are excellent, and they sometimes want to take your arm or your leg, and there's lots of good jump scares in there because there's so much to look at, and the scare actors are coming after you. And the one scare actor said, if we're new here, we have to pay taxes to live there. And I'm like, oh no, not taxes again. And scariest thing of all. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable time in Willie's Shipwreck Cove. After that, we went to Miles Manor. We walked over to Miles Manor, and Miles Manor changed a lot this year. Easily 50% change this year. I was very impressed from the very beginning with the new facade. I love the whole opening sequence they do. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but you have to sit down on these couches, and there is a whole interactive play that will happen, and you're part of it. And then it ends up leading you into this hallway where it looks like blood is dripping down the walls, and wow, it's so intense. And then you go into another scene and another new play plays out that didn't happen previously. I'm not going to ruin for you. And that was really interactive and well done. There's a whole brand new sewer section. They wanted you to close the valve because they said the pipes are going to burst. And there was this brand new elevator scene that starts with the hotel room where they have like the front desk scare actor there. And he's talking to you and he says he needs a last name and a first name for the room. And there was like, at this point, there were two groups of us split up for the spacing, and we ended up being together. So then it was like 8 or 9 of us together, maybe 10. I can't remember the exact number. It was like a smaller group of us, not too many. And we ended up talking to him at the front desk, and he said he needed a last name, and he got a last name from one of the people in our group from the media, and he said that doesn't sound like a real name. And they talked to the bellhop, and he said this doesn't sound like a real name. And he said, well, I really think it's a party from the chicken parmesan party, and that's an inside joke with Halloween Haunts 365, where she said one time in a restaurant that she really liked Parmesan chicken, but really loudly. I wasn't there for it, but Jared says when he tells the story that she said it very loudly. So now her nickname is Parmesan Chicken, which is funny. So that character knew that inside joke from watching the videos and then called her that. And that was hilarious. And we went into the elevator, and that was easily the best elevator style effect simulator I've ever been in. The timing was perfect. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. That bellhop was really, really awesome. I loved his energy. He was totally in character, messing with us and telling us about the history of Valley of Fear with the hotel and the Miles Manor, and it was so good. I loved it. So job well done to that. I loved it. Easily the best elevator I've experienced at any haunt attraction. And there's so many different scenes you go through. Of course, massive shout out to Father Barry and that whole chapel scene of the evil church, and Crystal ended up having to go into the confessional box, and we had to do this whole ceremony, like this whole special chant with one of the people there at the pulpit, like the evil priest, and that was wild. We had to get her out of there, and we had to pray for her salvation pretty much, and it was pretty wild. And then she got to come out of it, and that was so good. And there's so many different new scenes in there. Like I said already, the whole new sewer section. That leads you into a new section that looks like this demented toy factory with all these toys everywhere, and this evil toy maker's there, and she's telling you about the different toys. They had this baseball that looked like it had an eye on it and a catcher's mitt, and there was so many different toys everywhere. And that leads you into the end, which was a whole clown carnival style section where they had it UV lit, so they had like the UV specks of paint everywhere and that kind of environment. All these clowns coming at you. Massive shout out to all those scare actors in there. They had tons of energy. Got to see Flutters. She was like, "Yay, friends are here," and she was coming after us. And she said, "Look, I see him with the glowing hat." And that was me, and that was awesome because I had this hat on, this glowed with the UV lighting. And then I got to go in a vortex tunnel, and on the vortex tunnel, I got to see Maniac the Clown, and she actually had some of the wrapping you have for like birthday parties. She had some of that, and she said, I want to play with you. And she said she gave it to me, and she said, "Come on." And I held it, and then I spun around in a circle on the already spinning vortex tunnel, so I was super dizzy. And then I was covered in this stuff from like head to toe, like this wrapping, this bright pink wrapping, and that was very fun, very interactive. And then that was the end of the attraction, and wow, I had so much fun. Miles Manor was an absolute blast. So that was my experience at Valley of Fear. I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun, all these different attractions. I'd have to say my favorite of the night was the Hayride. I loved Miles Manor. The new changes they did in there were very impressive. Like I said, the best elevator I've experienced anywhere. Every single actor was doing an excellent job, and at one point there was a Ouija board on a bed, and I said, "You don't want to mess with Ouija boards." And she said, "You shouldn't be worried about the Ouija board. You should be worried about the spirits that are being summoned." And then she said, "They're talking to me," and she got crazy and started yelling and screaming at us, and it's really intense, really intense. So job well done to all those scare actors. They had so much energy, totally in character, having a blast, making sure they creeped us out and scared us. And another really awesome scene in Miles Manor was you went down this brand new hallway they built where they had these fan effects, so it looked like there was wind coming in from these windows. It had tall vaulted ceiling, and you're going under this, and it leads up at the end to this creepy witch looking character, and she had these skeleton hands over her eyes. I have a picture of her in here. She's on all the new promotional art for the attraction for Miles Manor this year, and you get to see her, and she said she wanted to cook us up and put us in a stew, and she was awesome. So many awesome new scenes in Miles Manor. But that hayride was so good. That was one of the best timed, most in tune, like really well done hayrides I've been on, and it's up there for me. That I am very excited to see other ones this year, but I know that's going to be very, very high for me this year. So be sure to check out Valley of Fear. Easily my favorite was the Hayride. Then I'd say Miles Manor. Then I'd say Escape from Shipwreck Cove. I really enjoyed all three of those attractions. They changed so much in all of them. I think Miles Manor had the most changes, but all of them did have changes, and I enjoyed every single one of them. So you have to definitely go to Valley of Fear and Feasterville, Pennsylvania this year. Tell them the Haunted Farmer sent you. You're going to have a blast, and they have different food vendors. In the midway, you can try out the pizza cones and shaved ice and Tim's barbecue, and they have different drinks there as well if you'd like to try them, of course, 21 plus. And it's a great time, and they always have a DJ in the midway playing different songs and everything, and there's always Jason lurking around and different midway actors. Look out for Spike. So lots of cool characters out there. Of course, Beetlejuice, get a picture with him. Totally in character, really good job at playing Beetlejuice. And yeah, excellent time at Valley of Fear. I highly recommend going. You're going to have a blast just like I did. And it was so much fun hanging out with all my friends that night. Sapphire and Halloween Haunts 365 and Tim's and Sandy and the Philly Captain. Kathy Romano was there as well. She was very nice to meet. I told her that I enjoyed hearing all her jokes over the years and being able to bond with my dad over it and laughing about the different jokes they said on the radio for years. So that was nice to meet her. That was really cool. That was surreal. So Wonderful night. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Valley of Fear for inviting me out for media night. I definitely will be back next year, and so much fun. So, and this is the merch I got. Like I said, I got the koozie, and they have other shirt designs. They have one just for the Haunted Hayride, just for Miles Manor, and they have all these different tumblers with the different characters on it you can get, and all these different keychains and wristbands and all kinds of fun stuff. It's called the Fear gear. So that's fun, and this was the laminate you would get as a VIP pass holder, and it says the rules on the back. So definitely be sure to check out Valley of Fear. That was the Haunt Informer. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get a notification every single time I put a new video. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Now I'm on social media. You can find all those links below. And as always, happy hauntings.